Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm one of your hosts, Barbara Marville Kelly, and with me is Paul Friedlander, right?
Yes, I am.
Not just a co-host. You are the host with the most.
No, you're the host with the most.
Well, okay. I'll buy that.
There you go.
Anyway, welcome in, everyone.
Good to be back.
I'm going to let you tell what chamber we're doing today, because I love to hear you boast.
We are here representing the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce with over 1,100 members.
How do you like that? Just like that, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's awesome. And we have guests for you that has been in the community working a good little while and has been members of the chamber. In fact, we have back by popular demand Mr. Jim Willis from the Willis Agency. How long has it been since I've seen you?
At least 5-6 years.
Has it been?
Yeah, we've done this before.
Oh my God! I knew you looked familiar.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to see that
It was
you're.
when we were down in Tarpon?
No, it was
Newport
downtown
Richey.
in Newport Richey.
Oh,
when we were
okay.
down there. Yeah. So
Had a nice setup there.
yeah, we did, like we do here.
Right.
So welcome back.
Pretty background and everything. Thank
Yeah.
you. Glad to have.
How long have you had your agency?
Oh, 31 years.
31 years. So you might have a little bit of experience
We do have some, yes.
in retirement planning.
So we do strategies for successful retirement.
Okay.
We help people that are nearly retired to successfully retire and never run out of money.
Ah,
How about that phrase, huh? Is
that
good?
that was that was perfect. I like that.
Yeah.
Well, are you finding that there's a lot of people at that retirement age that really needs a little guidance, a little bit of help?
Oh my gosh, I work with all 3 federal programs, so Medicare, Social Security, and qualified accounts.
Okay.
And even though people have been paying into those things their entire life, they haven't looked at what to do with any of them. So it's always chaotic.
Like what?
Well, on the financial end, the gazillions of questions. I mean, it goes anywhere from literally disaster, leaning on the doorpost, knocking on somebody's door that invited me to come in and says, "Can you help me?" You know, and yes, we can. And then to hair flying out everywhere, throwing paper all over the desk, and I don't know what any of this is. Can I do any of it?
That would be me, I think.
Yeah,
I think
pretty
so.
much. Jim, is there anything that's, some of the questions you had asked to direct you to, is there anything that's guaranteed?
There is.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that's what I do. So one of my claims to fame is over the last 31 years, nobody has ever lost a dime.
Oh.
Okay.
So I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not a financial investor.
Right.
I'm an insurance agent. So everything we do goes through insurance companies, and they're all guaranteed one way or another.
Gotcha. So you have a saying, have your money match your age. What is that? What is that all about?
That we all learned that in Finance 101. It doesn't matter if you're a banker or a broker or an insurance muckety-muck.
Right.
We went through Finance 101, and it talks about risk and rewards.
Okay.
So if you're 30, you know, you put 30% of your money in a safe place and then 70% of your money out there, whatever your personality likes you to do. Okay, and that's having your money match your age. That reverses when we talk about retirement. You know, and sometimes we've been beaten up too much. Right now we have a hot market. It's pretty amazing.
Right.
Nevertheless, if you're 65, 70, looking at retirement, you should have 65, 70% of your money safe. So when those changes, the changes do happen, the corrections, whatever you want to call them, they are going to take place. And you haven't lost your foundation. You need that foundation to meet your needs. And,
Right.
then the rest of it's for your wants.
The new system, and that might not be new, that's why I'm asking, where it's like, if we have a 401k with a company, they can hit what they call Target 2025 or Target 2020, depending on your age. Is that something new, or has that always been around? It's just reformulated. I'd not heard it before until I started with this new company.
Well, I think they're pretty cool. It kind of gives people a picture of what their risk is.
Right.
So obviously, if it's a longer time out, you're going to have a higher risk. When it gets closer, it gives you an opportunity to get into safer financial things. One of the awesome things that's just happened is in January 1st, 2020, is that they now are adding annuities into the retirement package as a choice because of their guaranteed income feature. They've been out for about 13, 14 years. It's the pension replacement plan that's just revolutionized retirement, and it's made it really exciting.
Wow.
And I know one of the things you also mentioned is that you are You've been known as the Medicare Maze Master. What is, and I've gotten that, I'm at that age now where I'm starting to get the phone calls every day, which I understand is really not, they're not supposed to reach out.
You look way too young.
Yeah, I know. I appreciate that.
I got those calls a long time ago. Now I'm getting other ones about cremation. I'm sorry. I just had to throw that out there, but it's true. I'm going, what are you talking about?
Well, and that's what creates the maze. You get this piece of mail, you hear this part on the radio, you hear another completely different thing on the newspaper, the TV, and it never puts everything together as a puzzle. I could call myself a puzzle master because they bring in all this literature.
Right.
And what is this? What is that? How does this work? And we go through 10 questions. It's amazing. Somehow I developed these 10 questions, and we funnel all of their frustration, confusion, and desires and help them find just the right product.
So that has to make your job really much, much simpler, by qualifying them like that.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you something. Sorry, Paul.
No.
It just came to my mind. Jim, our friend Jim,
right.
was he called me to tell me to just not pay attention to the infomercials that promise the world, right?
Yeah, so there's always give and take.
Yeah.
Every company has the same amount of dollars that they get from Medicare. Mm-hmm. So if you got a give back plan, you got to realize your copays are going to be higher. Mm-hmm. If you've got something that's really heavy in dental, then you need to realize that some of your other medicine or medical is going to have a higher copay.
Mm-hmm. Got it.
And if that's where your focus is, if that's what your needs are, that'd be fine. But you need to know there's always a give and take. There's not a wonder product out there.
Right.
Somebody that does everything.
Yeah.
Because I guess it bothers me to some extent because I know that Medicare age, there's a lot of people that are getting, because like you said, it's a puzzle with all kinds, so it allows somebody to come in and take advantage of people at that age because they're not, that's the same ones that'll open an email they shouldn't open or throw a social security number out that they shouldn't show that. How do you, so you have those 10 questions, that set people at ease? And
well, I do, and what's really, I think, important from my standpoint, they can make a mistake, but it's not like they've been taken advantage of. I had these 3 ladies, they called me on a speakerphone and left a message on the office, and they're all talking, and we want an appointment with you, Jim, and we got to talk about Medicare, we're going to have pizza, come by one night and tell us when. And that was radical. So I called back like 3 hours later. Well, they've been at a doctor's appointment, and they're still riding around together in the car. Well, we get over there next week for a pizza party, and literally all 3 ladies, I asked them 10 questions, each one answered it, and they got a different plan. They were both all happy with their plan and knowing what their friends got.
Good.
It's answering the questions that helps them get what they want, and that's what we like to do.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
so you've been doing this for a long time. What are specialties? How do you other than how do you really get out there and help people? I know you do some educational type of things too.
We do. I love to talk. That's really my job, and that's the fun part. We've gone into mobile home parks, churches that have senior groups is really ideal for me. I like that environment. I like that world, and we have a lot of good time doing that. I do workshops. We've done some during AEP. We did a couple of workshops and just to help coordinate some things there. Right now we're getting February 11th, next week, next Tuesday and Thursday, 11th and 13th at 6 o'clock. We're doing 2 Social Security workshops.
Awesome.
Yeah. Just trying to find out how do I get it, when do I get it, what's the benefit, how much am I going to lose or get if I wait or get it.
Could you just give, let's see, we only have a few minutes. Are you reading my mind?
Yeah.
Can you give us some sort of like, do I get it, do I not get it? And is that a loaded question? And when and how much? Is it worth it to hold off? Or I guess everybody's individual.
They are. So you have to, again, asking questions, doing qualifying, helping people figure out what they want. Okay. I'm not the guy that everybody needs to wait till they're 70. Obviously you'll get more, but what if you have an illness that's kind of chronic? You might want to get it when you can.
Right.
Maybe there's financial dynamics. My sister, she didn't have much money. I said, get it now. And it changed her life. She thinks I'm wonderful.
Oh.
Isn't that great? Hey,
Yeah.
listen, we could actually keep you for a little bit longer. Could you have some more time with us?
Sure.
Okay. All right.
The Social Security part of it, it's not as if I remember correctly from having talked to somebody in the past, it's not as simple as just collecting Social Security, is it?
Yes, no,
Okay.
maybe.
Yes, no, maybe.
Well, that's
And
that's
I'm
where
not
your
just being
expertise comes
facetious.
in. I mean, seriously, where does it, is it just a matter of collecting it?
Well, it's fascinating now. I've been doing this decades,
Right.
okay? In the 80s and the 90s, even in the 2000s, people retired and got Social Security. It just happened, whether it was 62 or 65. There wasn't any thought process, there wasn't any negotiations, there wasn't any options, there wasn't any planning. They just got it. Well, come 2011, you know what happened? Baby boomers. And baby boomers want to get the most they can with everything. And they started to realize, well, hey, if I wait till, and that's when the numbers changed from 65 to 66. And full retirement age can be, depending on your age, up to 67 right now. And so, well, what if I got it sooner? Well, if you get it sooner, you're going to lose 25% at 62. If you wait till you're 70, you're going to get a 32% increase from 66 to 70. That's a significant check.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Now, we got software, and that's what the software does. It's above what Social Security does.
Okay.
Okay, and this
Yep.
software actually shows you numbers. So we're not trying to tell you that one date, age is the best, but we can show you however you think you feel, or your family genes, how old or young they might be, and get that sweet spot for you. So you make an intelligent decision
Right.
instead of, I'm just sick and tired of working, I want my check.
Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Well, they can make an informed decision once
Yeah.
they're educated.
Yeah.
The ultimate question, let me ask you this. Is it ever too late for somebody to come to you to help with retirement? I mean, money may be not there, but I mean, can somebody, if I'm 50, let's say I'm 60 years old, and I'm going, well, whatever I've done, and I've already screwed it up. Is that too late to come to you for help?
Well, I have a life philosophy, it's never too late.
Okay.
You know, and you always got to work with what you got. There's always somebody with more, and there's always somebody with less.
Yeah.
And we need to take you, my first question is, how much money do I need? Everybody asks me, how much money can I make? I ask, for completely change that, how much are you going to spend?
Right.
Exactly.
I mean, I know people that do great off $1,800 a month.
Right.
I know other people can't live off of $10,000. They need more.
Right.
You know, and you just need to adjust your expectancies with reality.
Well,
Yeah.
with 31 years of experience, my gut tells me it's never too late to come and at least talk to you.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, just talked to a lady this morning, and she'd been putting all this off for like 3 years, and she thought it was all over and all falling apart, and we just started putting pieces of the puzzle back together for her. I said, why are you all anxious? I mean, that's my joy. I'm the peacemaker. I'm the stress reliever.
Yeah.
I'm the anxiety, kick it out of the door.
Right.
And that's fun.
And that's comforting just to hear you say that. And your demeanor, I can see when you are with your clients that you do put them at ease. I bet you when you leave, they're like,
Yeah, absolutely. So, hey, then I get, don't call me in 2 months because we're going to be out of town seeing kids. You know, that's kind of fun.
Right.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
Or I had a health issue, and Jim, your insurance did exactly what it says it's going to do.
Oh, that's
which
a
isn't
biggie.
always up to me. You know, the companies,
Right,
you know, but
right.
it's nice that it works.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk to us about some of the other tricks of the trade, and I don't mean this. That's probably a bad.
Yeah, we try
analogy,
not to
but-
do that.
Yeah, but other things that you have that help people.
Oh, let's see. Well, in the financial realm, I have a couple of articles that I share with them.
Okay.
Like having your age match your money.
Yeah.
Okay.
And what does that mean?
Well, in other words, so many people have 401ks today. They don't have pensions. They don't have defined benefit plans like our parents had.
Right.
So that means 80, 90, maybe more % of their money is in qualified accounts, which means is in the market, which means it's at risk. Also, that means almost all of their money, except a little bit in the bank, is at risk. That's dangerous. It could have been fun. It could be fun.
Right.
It's fun right now even.
Yeah.
But, I mean, adjustments have to take place.
Right. Oh yeah.
Sure.
That is the thing. So we talk about that. And then the other thing is helping people understand wants and needs. We want everything.
Right.
Okay. That's not a need. You know, so we decipher what those two differences are. And there's a big gap between that. You know, I want to travel 3-4 times a year. Okay. You know, is that going to the coast or in Florida? That'd be close. Or going to other continents.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
And those we have to.
So you're bringing them into that reality check.
Yeah. As nice as I can.
It's nice. How's that work pretty much for you? Do you ever have any challenges with that, or get husbands and wives kind of like? Wah, wah, wah?
Oh my gosh! Now you brought up something entirely different. I got to do marriage counseling on this
I
stuff.
bet.
Man.
I bet you do.
Yeah. So, you know, I don't know how we all, you know, you get married and somebody likes to wake up early and the other one likes to stay up late. Someone likes it cold and then somebody likes it hot. We're all married like that. Well, spending, finance is the exact same way. Somebody's very frugal and somebody's not.
Right.
And getting those two to funnel together is always an art.
Yeah, you've
Very
been doing
well
it for-
said.
It's an interesting industry because I know people make fun about quote-unquote insurance and things like that, but you've been doing it for 31 years. Where did you find your love for it?
Oh, well, actually, it was after I got done with several sales, the first couple of months in the business, everybody was so happy when I left. Where, you know, you can sell things and, okay, you know, and I got it, whatever. And they always were very excited with what we did. I make more money, I give them more security, I give them opportunity in life. They've talked about me, their problems, and we did a little, you know, counseling, and, you know, a little psychology, I don't know.
How'd you end up getting started in the industry?
Oh man, it's a hysterical story. You want to know?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Yeah.
Well, I was in the clothing business for 12 years. My dad had a clothing store and a variety of things. So for about 12, 13 years, I was in clothing business. I actually loved it. But back in those days, all the departments were merging, closing. You know, it was just a difficult time. And I had 3 kids. My daughter was 4 and a son 6 and 8. And, well, they're like me. There's a lot of energy. And I'm coming home every day during summer, and their wife was going crazy. There's just too much energy, and she's losing it, and I can understand. I'm not being critical, and so finally I said, parents say things they have to purchase. They got to own it now. Once they say something, I said, you 2 boys, you're going to play football, and you little girl are going to be a cheerleader whether you like it or not. I didn't even have the $325 registrations. And then I found out the games were all on Saturday.
Well,
I
retail.
worked Saturday. So in the next couple of months, I actually changed my entire life.
Wow.
Unknowingly.
Yeah.
You know, and there was a local insurance agent that was looking for some help Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. Just what I wanted. And it worked from the very first week.
Isn't that
Now, where
something?
did you grow up? Was that down here?
So this is actually in Zephyr Hills.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? So
Yeah.
you're a Florida native.
Yeah, I was born and raised in St. Pete on a 40-acre ranch of my grandfather's on Bogosiega Bay.
Oh, wow.
So
Cool.
I lived Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, and Tarzan.
Oh, my goodness.
go.
And did you teach your kids how
yeah.
that good old-fashioned
Oh yeah.
country living works for you?
And I do it for the grandkids too. So.
Oh, that's so
And
great.
you've been a member of the chamber for how long now?
10 years.
10 years.
8, 9, 10 years.
Has been a big help in building your business?
The chamber, yeah. I mean, I was just talking to one of the members that was running the meeting this morning, and I couldn't be there. What are you doing? I said, relax. It's my favorite place. It's my favorite time. I like how the Wednesday morning Hungry Harry's.
Yep.
I'm not that fancy, and that's hometown stuff. And
Yeah, it
most
is.
of those folks are hometown, and I like that. And I know a lot of those people. I'm having a great time meeting the West Pasco. I've been over here in business before, not as much.
Right.
And so we're revitalizing that effort.
Where's your office located?
Right in Central Pasco,
Okay.
Lana Lakes,
Okay.
41, between 41 and the Suncoast Parkway,
Awesome.
Very
off
good.
Sun Lake.
Very
Awesome.
good. Very good.
And they can get in touch with you how?
Well, they can call me at 813-948-9109. We actually go to the website, Jim. Now, some people think it's spelled G-E-M, but it's not. Right? Thank you for catching that.
Depends on your accent,
Yeah,
right?
but it's Jim as in J-I-M at thewillisagency.com.
You've been in
good.
business for yourself for how long?
Yeah, since 92. 92. So 4 years there and then made the jump.
Well, it's worked for you. It's worked well for others, too.
100% commission, raising a family. Couldn't miss a Friday.
Love it. Love
Pretty
it.
awesome. Pretty awesome.
That is
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm not broke on Friday anymore.
That's so good.
There you go.
And you're able to contribute to whatever the kids want to get into. I love that story.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's clear that you are doing what you enjoy doing, too.
Oh, thanks.
So that's good. So I'm just thinking about, like, the new generations that are coming up. And how old are your children now?
Oh, that's not right.
You go, girl.
He didn't go for
Remember,
that.
it wasn't me.
Well, the reason why I'm asking...
My kids are adults. They're all doing
Are
fine.
they... Okay, well, the reason...
They're all married. None of them are asking for money. Nobody's moving back home. I'm done with college. It's all mine now. It's all mine.
See? The reason why I was asking is I didn't know what ages they were, but I guess the point is that a lot of the younger generations might be a good idea to start looking at that and
Oh, yeah.
ahead of time rather than wait till beyond. And they have you right there at the helm of the ship, which I'm thinking that's a big plus.
Yeah, the kids have all taken it.
Yeah.
And if they didn't have it, their spouse has it.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited
I
about it.
know. How do you, and that's a good question, good point, Barb. How do you, in knowing what we know now, how do you, is there a way for you, do you have a way that you influence that market where you can actually sit down and talk with them since they're maybe 30 years old and think they have forever to live and not to worry about it like we did, some of us by mistake?
Yeah.
It is really hard. I want to give them that, first of all. It's hard. I mean, maybe they're just married, maybe they just got a kid, maybe they're looking at getting a house, college debt. It's a challenge to start.
Sure.
But start.
Start.
Just start a couple grand. You can't fathom the power of tax deferral. Time and compound interest is still the eighth wonder of the world. Mm-hmm. And when you start doing something in your 20s, even if it's peanuts,
Right. Right.
it's powerful.
Right.
Because if you wait till you're 45, 50, there's a lot of work to do.
Of course, and a lot of catching up,
Yeah.
if you can,
But
and a
that's
lot
got to
of...
be a tough market to influence
Yeah.
because they do feel invincible.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's like, I don't need to worry about that right now. But you're right. I mean, growing up, my grandfather or parents gave me a Wellington fund, a Vanguard Wellington fund that just went back into more stock,
Yeah. Okay.
And there were a couple times as we were in our 20s and 30s and had some challenges where we were able to cash some of that out and it helped.
And one of the things I've done over my career is budget counseling.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what we do with people at that age and even our age. Just keeping in, don't do spontaneous spending. My wife and I, even to this day, we've been doing it for decades. We don't spend over a certain number, without calling each other. And worked great. Sometimes I don't get what I want. Or maybe she's going to give it to me as a present later on.
That's beautiful. I love
It's
that.
all kinds of, but we stay inside of I'm not as strict on my budget as I used to be,
Right.
thankfully.
Well, you
But I
have to.
I still have these parameters, though, and because I like to have my money
important.
do what I want it to do instead of it telling me what
And
to
then
do.
gets back to that wants and needs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It puts you in the driver's seat.
Yeah.
Jim, thank
Dude,
you
this
so
has been
much.
awesome.
Isn't this been great?
This has been awesome.
Appreciate
Again,
it, guys.
You let them know where your office is again. Let them know what the number is to contact
So our
you.
address is 2647 Narnia Way, Suite 101. So it's in the Oakstead Professional Building by Sun Lake Public, Sun Lake High School, and all that stuff. And our office is 813-948-9109. Hope to hear from you.
All right.
That was absolutely
Thank you so much. I
awesome
learned a
segment.
lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
I
We
may be calling
appreciate
you.
it.
And I hope you learned a lot, too. We have more coming up here on My Chamber TV. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Could he count or what?
And guys, welcome back. Welcome back. I'm Paul Friedlander. I'm here with my awesome host, Miss Barbara Marville Kelly.
Thank you.
And we are here for the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce, My Chamber TV, and that's what I'm here representing today. Every once in a while, I'll throw in the fact that I do work for Total Title Solutions, just to let people know that.
Good little plug there for you.
But we are here with the awesome Miss Angela Leischner.
Yes,
Did I pronounce it correctly? I
welcome.
did.
Thank you, Paul. Well
and
done.
she's with Comegy's.
Comegy's Insurance.
Comegy's, I'm sorry
it's
about
like
that.
comedies, but
Comedies, but
comedies
Oh, that's very
Comegy's.
good.
is
Comegy-
not a laughing
Comegy's.
matter.
And not only is, we're going to talk about that today, but I've had the opportunity. She's very involved in the community. We went and did a presentation for her the other night for the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts troops and Weeblos.
Nice.
Our
So
whole
and we
troop.
appreciate that. We
Thank
were there
you.
with Chris Billings and
Yes.
one of the judges in town, and it was just a
Nice.
really, really good show, and we
It was
appreciate
amazing.
that. Talk to us. How long have you been in the insurance business?
So, Paul, I've been doing insurance pretty much forever.
Okay.
I'm going on almost 2 decades. I specialized in workers' compensation insurance, and 2 years ago, I switched to go work for the best company that's founded locally here, family-owned since 1939.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Now this I assume now it's not workers' comp. And what do you do here? What's this company specialize in?
I have the great opportunity to be able to specialize in all lines of insurance. I specialize in
Oh.
commercial auto, which is a big hot topic right now with a lot of, it's problematic too for a lot of business owners. It also workers' compensation, general liability, commercial property. Since we have so much construction in Pasco area,
Yes.
every day it seems like a new building is being erected.
So, and
That's
I'm
right.
guessing that, like you said, having a fleet of vehicles presents a whole another matter with people,
It's a good-
with having different drivers and an accident
Yes,
here, an
yes.
accident there. I remember Julie Rogers with Progressive a few years back. It was like 5 days in a row. There were like 6 different accidents with their
Sure.
trucks.
Yes.
Sure.
And what,
Yeah.
What do you do to help them through that?
Well, identify their unique situation. No two clients are identically alike.
Okay.
Every company has their own objectives. They have their own uniqueness. They also have their own losses and their history and their work. So we try to identify where their full potential lies, and we try to restructure their insurance. Sometimes they're in a good situation. They just need to be cleaned up. Sometimes they are in a situation where they're not always being offered the best competitive offer. But a lot of factors lay into defining and identifying their insurance.
Now, do you work with multiple?
Comedies.
Comedies.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Remember,
just Comedies?
it's comedies,
Comedy.
like
Comedy.
comedies,
Does
but
Comedies,
insurance
do you
not.
work with multiple companies? Do you have?
We do,
Okay.
because we've been in business since 1939.
Okay.
We
Whoa.
actually have access to over 60 carriers, and that gives us a competitive edge in the market.
That's awesome.
We also are involved with our underwriters on a regular basis, so we're able to, talk to our underwriters regularly,
Yeah.
so they get to know us. I particularly had a client that had an issue with the driver. I was able to call up the client and say, hey, this happened on personal company time. Can I put him on a 90-day probation period, and can we get him insured? No problem at all, Angela.
Yeah, see, that's
So-
awesome. And I know
Yeah.
you said that you work with underwriters. I know you had a challenge this morning. But talk to us about commercial insurance. And because I know from having friends years ago that were in that industry, that a lot of times these commercial companies miss the boat. They don't always, just like sometimes people have somebody else in the house driving and they don't tell them.
Yes.
So talk about some of those footfalls that they need to watch out for when they have commercial insurance.
It's definitely an advantage to be with an agent that has that market edge and relationship with the underwriters on a regular basis. It gives us a little bit more advantage to getting where we need to be and what we want done and structured properly. But typically what we do is we set a 30-minute diagnostic appointment just to see where we can identify. And, we're not a fit for everyone, but those that we've helped, we have definitely put in business, and that's helped us create a long-term relationship with them.
And that's what you're looking for.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
what we're looking for.
Yeah.
We want the clients that they want help, and they, sometimes they reach their maximum of where they can go with their current agent, so they'd like to explore some opportunities that maybe they've been missing out on.
makes sense.
A lot of frustrations that business owners find is that they'll get the lowest quote available, but then through the year, through the year of the policy term, they're getting charged $100 here, $100 there, and it feels like they're getting nickeled and dimed, but that's just because their information wasn't properly identified in the upfront.
Right. And that becomes a challenge if something comes in for a claim, doesn't it?
Oh,
If
That's what I-
definitely
that's
can.
what I'm thinking.
If they change
Well-
something without letting you know, if they add something
Well,
without
we
letting
write
you
the
know.
policies on a basis to where they can be amended anytime during the
Right.
policy term. So we kind of identify that, especially just working with contractors. I know things change on an hourly basis,
Yeah.
sometimes literally by the minutes. But we understand that going in, and that's why we specialize in niche markets and niche areas.
But I get the feeling, I think
love it.
Barb does too, that you have personal relationships with most of your commercial people, so
Yes.
you
Yes.
don't just, you're probably in touch with them on a regular basis.
All the
And
time.
don't let stuff, which helps not letting things
Right.
slip through the cracks.
Nothing slips through the cracks. No.
Yeah.
We have our staff. Our business division leader is a CRM, which is a certified risk manager.
Okay.
So I'll bring him out on my appointments, and he helps me identify where we need to be at. The vice president of the company, Derek, he is definitely in the office every day. He oversees everything with us. We work as a team, and that's also, we're a family.
And you mentioned something else. You mentioned liability side. Where does that come into play?
Well, many times general liability, workman's compensation insurance, property insurance, lesser's risk, you own the building, you don't own the building. It gets very confusing and convoluted.
Yes.
But a lot of times those coverages also interchange with each other. So when they interchange with each other, it takes a very knowledgeable team to be able to go in there, identify what is really needed and what's not needed to remove any of those gaps in coverages and
That's
loopholes
awesome.
that they might be in.
And 80 years in business, huh?
Wow.
80, we just celebrated our 80th anniversary.
absolutely
Family-owned
awesome.
Yes.
business, everyone.
Yes.
In fact, she was
Family-owned
supposed to
business.
be on the show before, and because of the 80th birthday party.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, Rochelle
Yeah,
is, yes.
That's all,
Okay.
80
She came-
years.
Yep.
That's unbelievable longevity in this state age.
Yes, it is. The Bursetts are great people. They're a great family. But our clients have made us, and that's what.
And this business has been passed on through generations through the same
Yes,
family.
yes, yes.
Oh my
yes,
goodness.
Yes, Derek Bursett's our vice president, and we work side by side. He goes on appointments with me. That's how it is.
Have you always been in insurance?
I have been in insurance,
20
since
years.
1993.
Wow.
Yes.
What drew you to insurance?
I had a family member that got hurt at work, and I had this desire to I found going through insurance contracts just really exhilarating. I don't know
Okay.
why, but I got.
She's different.
I love her.
I'm very different.
I love her.
I'm a unique one. I had a family member that got hurt, and I just wanted to know why. And I just kept questioning, why is it this way? Why is it that way? Why does it do this? And as I got into it, I really felt the need to lean in and just help people.
Yeah,
And just
yeah.
put them on the right path.
Right.
You can't put everybody on the right path. Sometimes people are so used to where they're at that they don't want to get on the right path, and those people we can't help.
Right.
But the
right.
ones
But
that.
the ones that you can.
But the
you
ones that.
can.
Right.
And there's so much knowledge out there with insurance that the average person just doesn't know about. The
Right.
average person, even when it comes to real estate, it's the same
Yes.
type of thing.
Yeah, and it's always changing.
Yes.
I mean,
Exactly.
monthly, it can change.
Yeah.
Today it could be okay, and tomorrow it's not okay.
Yeah, and so
know?
you keep your clients on top of what's
Yes, we
okay
do.
and what's not okay, what changes are going on here, because otherwise
Absolutely.
you get hit with these changes and then you're like sitting there going, wait a minute, what happened?
Yep.
Angela,
Yes.
what
I know.
happened?
I know. Market conditions. But we're in a great market right now, and the insurance market is very wide open. But a lot of times, though, what a lot of people don't understand is how much their own insurance interchanges with each other. So the commercial liability with non-owned auto and owned auto can interchange with their workers' compensation.
Oh.
Their
Oh,
workers'
yeah.
compensation can offset their auto policy. So there's unique little pieces that we can build in, identify, and save them money. And a lot of times were afraid to buy that umbrella policy. But if they just made a couple of tweaks on their auto and their workers' comp, now you can afford it because we can offset it. It's kind of like that old saying, a CPA is supposed to pay for himself. Well, we're supposed to do that too.
That,
Well, that-
So-
it's like a little recipe.
I got to tell you, if
It
you're a
is.
business owner and you're watching this segment, you got to be excited to have an expert in the field like this young lady, and from a company
Yes.
that's got the longevity that they have for 80 years. And that's just been, you've been with, we've been Comegy's for how long now?
I've been with Comegy's for 2 years as an employee. I have worked with them for about 14.
Okay.
Yes, because they were one of my brokers when I worked in workers' compensation, so they would use me as an agent to filter their clients too.
Well,
So
your excitement and your vigor for this is just phenomenal.
I love what she
It's
said,
just-
how she got into it. She found the contracts.
I found the contract to be just so interesting.
Yeah.
Why wasn't one company this way? Why is one company so different? The actuary part of it, why is somebody here worth more money than this person is? And just reading it, it was interesting. But that gave me the edge to be able to go in and say, okay, most of your employees are male and they're under 40. You know, do you offer health insurance benefits? Because I can sell that to the underwriter. So we'll bring in, our counterpartners that offer health insurance benefits to sometimes employees a lot of times will use health insurance, their workers' comp policy has a health insurance policy.
Right.
They're weekend warriors. They went out, helped their friend, and then they bring the injury to work on Monday. Well, if you offer a little bit of health insurance, if I save you money here, will you buy this for them? So there's a lot of times where you can offset the cost, and that's where it became really interesting.
I don't think I've ever been this excited to listen to somebody talk about insurance.
I'm almost speechless.
You are so into it. Talk to them about how they can get a hold of you.
Well, we typically just set a 30-minute diagnostic appointment just to make sure that, some people are in a great place.
Yep, and a good number?
And my phone number is 813-777-3334.
Perfect.
Yes.
You are a delight, and thank you. And I'm so glad that you're excited about what you're doing, which makes your job easier for you.
I love seeing my guys on the road. I see my trucks driving down the road. I'll call my owner. Hey, he's speeding.
I love it.
He loves
lady,
it.
Thank
it was
you,
absolutely
Angela.
a pleasure. Thank you so much.
so much
Thank
for
you,
having me.
sweetheart. Hope to
Thank
see you
you.
again.
Thank you,
We'll be
everyone.
right back after this. Hi, everyone. Welcome back into My Chamber TV. We are the heartbeat of the Tampa Bay community. I'm Barbara Marville Kelly, and I have my host friend,
Mr. Paul Friedlander with the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce. And that's who we have on today. We have the president of the Greater Pasco Chamber of Commerce, Mr. Tim McClain, with us
welcome
today.
back again.
Thank you. That's what my name badge says.
That's right.
Well, that's how I
It
knew
is.
that's how I knew it was you.
Now, I want you to know how comfortable I'm getting, Paul.
That's
I
good.
have my red Solo cup
There you
to match
go.
your red Solo cup. So
Where's mine?
Well,
I don't even have one.
we'll have to work
We'll
on
have
it
to
for the
get
next
one
one.
for you.
Okay, yeah,
We'll
all
get you a
right.
red
I was
Solo
jealous
cup.
last time.
Is
I
that
said
what
it
it
would
was?
never happen again. Yes,
I think
never happen
I
again.
tell you what. Let's start. We're going to start off the show by telling everybody that at the trade show that we recently had for Business Development Week, our awesome. What's the word I'm looking for? Anyways, the guy that helps us put this together, Mr. John Gaston, and the lovely Barbara came up with a phenomenal idea, and we're going to go on the road.
Yes.
So the mornings of the first, we do this the first Wednesday of every month. Well, that morning of the first Wednesday of every month, we're going to go on the road and visit our neighbors on the east side of our territory, because we go from here all the way out there to 41 and a little bit beyond. And then that show will then be on the second Wednesday of the month.
How cool is that?
If you're watching this now, or if you get to see it afterwards, all of our, when we made the combine with West Pasco and the Central Pasco Chamber, if we're not going to make we're not making everybody that lives all the way out in Lutz and Land O'Lakes and Wesley Chapel drive all the way here. Thank you to the awesome Mr. John Gaston.
That's right.
Yes.
We're taking the show on the road, bringing it to you.
And I love doing
share
that.
your business.
That is so much fun because we can bring the businesses to you, and you can see what it's like to be part of this community. How many
Exactly.
members do we have here?
Last count was 1107 when I looked. It fluctuates daily, a little up, a little down. I saw 2 new members. Speaking of that, 28 members. 28 members last month.
Yes.
28 new members. So that's
January.
we're the largest in Pasco County, and we're also the fastest growing in Pasco County.
And is that why you're getting all these new members?
I don't know.
It's your personality.
I would love to say it, but the team at the Chamber loves members. We're trying to show Chamber love everywhere that we can. And so we're trying to figure it out. It was a challenge, let's be honest. When you take 75 years and 45 years of heritage and history and put it together, there's going to be some things you got to figure out. We're still trying to figure some of them out. But at the same time, we're now offering our members more, I think, than we did in the past, and we're continuing to try to get better. I mean, we just finished Business Development Week.
I love that event.
Unbelievable. And as Paul said, we actually go to basically Wesley Chapel, all the way over to the coast, county line to county line, and that's probably 2/3 of the county that we cover. There's a great chamber in Dade City, a great chamber in Zephyr Hills that cover those areas, but we're able to cover the rest of the 2/3 of the county as a single entity, so you don't have to go, do I join this one, do I join that one?
Exactly.
And we just finished a full week of education, free education to our members. Only time we charge is if there was a meal involved. And believe it or not, thanks to Cracker Barrel and also Tasso Italiano. We had some great. Tasso had a great lunch. I think I went through the line twice. Let's not tell people, but he did a great job. Cracker Barrel had an unbelievable breakfast at PHSC, where we have the students involved and some other people the public can come to, but a lot of students get involved. So we fed the students. It was awesome. Cracker Barrel did a great job. Tasso Italiano did a great job.
And let's not forget, although they had to pay for it, it was sponsored by the Rotary Club of Trinity and the Rotary Club of Newport Richey. Culinary Institute at Marchman provided us with an awesome
I was going to
lunch
say,
on
was that not
Wednesday.
good?
Oh.
Yeah. I got menu selection this year. I didn't get to do that last year. So I looked at it and I went,
Yeah, you did.
No wonder you
did
went
good.
through the line
you did
twice.
Good.
that was a good
did
one.
good,
Yeah,
yes.
that was a good one.
Very good.
The students make it. That's the fun part
know,
about that.
I know.
The students make it. The students were, that morning, we had students from 4 or 5 high
4 or
schools
5
in
high
that
schools,
area.
yep.
And they got to learn about business and a bunch of other courses specifically. They got to, I saw a room full of very successful business people they got to hear from. As a matter of fact, one of them was on your mug. Unlike mine, that's not Stacy, so
Mine's not Stacy, but she was there, and many others that are leaders in our community sharing back to the
Yes.
high school kids.
And
What
here's
more
what
can
was
I
really
Oh,
cool.
I love
Some
that.
of our younger leaders, like Darian Ward with Goosehead Insurance, and I mean, we had a whole slew of new young people in the market sitting down and talking to
Isn't that
4 to 5
great?
high school students.
Isn't that great?
Yes, it was absolutely
And they
awesome.
love to hear that from almost their age group, but to see how people progress.
And then Mr. Fun was our lunch speaker,
Yes,
Mr. Travis
exactly.
Mears.
A very successful young.
Yep.
Yes.
Mears Plumbing,
Yes,
and
yes.
his topic was how to make $80K a year with no student debt.
Very
And
good. I love that.
If you know Travis, I was shocked. He actually did math that we could follow and solve. So he proved you could make you could get $80,000 a year without the college debt that you would have if you went to 4 years or 5 or 6 years of college. And he'll state it at the same time he
Yes.
did. It's not for everybody, but college isn't for everybody. So there is an alternative in the trades today. And it was a great topic.
Well, you
you'd-
just
you'd
need to
have
be
en-
educated.
You'd have enjoyed it because one of the topics he talked about was they now have 8 female technicians.
Yeah.
And they're better, more organized, and cleaner than the guys. I know
I'm
you
not
find that
saying a
hard to
word.
believe.
Yes.
I'm not saying a word, but that's good to know.
Yeah, and then Friday morning, we got to mention that panel on Friday morning,
Yeah.
Tim. That was unbelievable. Six of us professionals talking about social media and digital marketing platforms.
Oh, you know
And-
what? You guys do such a great job. And how long has this been going?
27th year. It was the
27th
27th
year, and you
Yes.
can look forward to it every year. I'll tell you, it's
I mean,
great.
you had Michael Dumas and Richard Hayes, who you know, and Sarah Oglesby from the Tampa Bay Times. Jessica Spivey was unbelievable. She owns SM Squared or
Yeah.
something Squared,
Right.
social media. Christy Churchill, and then, of course, Miss Melanie Snow,
Yes.
who used to be on TV. You probably have known Melanie for
Yes.
a long time. And
It was a great
the
panel.
It was an unbelievable panel for 2 hours. It was phenomenal.
That's so great.
But, you mentioned about the 45 years of heritage and the 75 years of heritage, and segueing into the fact that there's something coming up at Heritage Park.
There is, and this is new for the previous West Pasco members because we never had a music fest, but Central Pasco has, and they're now into their 5th year of this. So the Music Fest at Land O'Lakes, it is Heritage Park, and there are 4 bands. So it's from 4 to 10 p.m.
Ooh.
And they are Solar Exposure, Den of Thieves, J.T. Curtis and the Florida Scoundrels, and the headliner, the late night last band, Stone Gray, which happens to, one of our board members, her son is in Stone Gray. So they were there last year and I got to hear them. They're very, very good. So it's only $5. $5.
$5 to get
4
in.
bands, $5. There'll be beer, wine. There'll be vendors everywhere. There'll be food vendors. There's craft vendors. If you, by the way, want to get your business exposed, this is a great opportunity because you can actually get, and if I believe right, if you do it by the 14th, you get a discount. But you can get a vendor booth there, and all those 4,000 plus people.
Yep.
They had 4,000 last year. We really think we're going to bust 5, but you can't guarantee numbers. But we expect to be better than last year. They're going to be walking around looking at your booths.
And what is the date on that?
That is, believe it or not, Saturday, March the 23rd. It's coming right up.
March the 23rd from 4 to 10. And how much is it again?
$5 to get in.
Who-
$5.
Where do you go for $5? 4 bands? Seriously,
4
that's
bands.
And it's from
crazy.
4 to 10.
Yep.
And I want to say, I want to say it's the 21st.
Oh, it's 21st?
Yeah, Saturday the 21st.
Is that wrong?
If it
Oh,
says
it is.
23rd,
Yeah, no, it
it's
is.
wrong.
That,
It's
no, you're
21st.
correct. That is.
Yeah,
now that I look at it,
It's all right. You
That's the
figured
old
out it
flyer.
was a Saturday. It's Saturday,
Yeah.
March 21st.
it is the 21st. I have it
And
here.
even
That's-
before that, what we have, well, not before that, but we've got some fun stuff coming up the week after that, one of which is on March 27th. It's the Coronation Ball.
Oh, yes.
So I'll have to put this away when I come on the show next
yep.
Finally, we
and
have
then
to
You have
take
to
that
turn in your
crown off of them.
Anyhow, it's been an honor serving this year. It's been so much fun. It's
I'm
so
so
humbling.
happy for you.
But we got 2 awesome events along with the Coronation Ball that take place that week, and I know Tim has some information on them.
Yeah,
All right.
Chasco Fiesta is, to this community on the west side, huge, to say the least.
Yes.
It is huge. It is very important to our community. We start off by naming a king and a queen. That's the very first activity. We go into a concert on the first Saturday and another big concert on the second. Then there's concerts every day that are free. Those are the only 2 that are charged for.
Yep.
And the neat thing is the chamber gets involved in this in 2 things. The Young Professionals Group. That's a division of the chamber where you're 40 or younger. If you're a young professional, this is their biggest fundraiser of the year, and it is the bowling tournament, and that's going to be Tuesday, March 31st. So bowling tournament, Tuesday, March 31st. It's at Lane Glow. Everybody has a great time. Like I said, it's a huge fundraiser for them, and even if you don't know how to bowl, you have a fun time. It's really cool, and you get your name on a trophy if you win it. And then the other thing is the golf tournament. And that is Friday, April the 3rd. And that's at Seven Springs. It's a 11:30 start. $500 for a golf team, $160 for the bowling, by the way, for a team. And this is a chamber event that we put on every year. It's the 19th annual. It's sort of a tradition. You take Friday off, you go play golf, and then the next night you have a big concert to go to. So Chasco Fiesta is important to all of us. Don't forget the street parade. Don't forget the boat parade. Dragon races this year. Chasco is its whole topic.
Yep.
But the chamber is involved in these 2 events. So we really hope that you get involved in this. If you want to be a sponsor in any of these, we have sponsorships available for any of them. Come see us at the chamber. You can either call us or you can run by 5443 Main Street, either one. And you can even send an email to chamber@greaterpasco.com. That works also.
And we've got, and that, like Tim said, it's an awesome week. The first Saturday, which is March 28th, is the parade, the street parade, and the second Saturday, which will be April 4th, will be the boat parade. And they're both awesome events.
Oh gosh, they
that whole
are
week, like Tim
big.
said,
Yes.
everything's other than the big name country concert on the one end and the big name rock and roll concert on the other end. Everything else, all week long, there's free concerts every night. Unbelievable.
It's crazy. I can't get out $5. $5.
$5.
For the Heritage Music
And that's
Festival.
March 21st. March
You got it.
21st, 2020, not 2019, as the flyer said.
Well, I want to, even though I'm on the board for the Greater Pasco Chamber, I'd like to congratulate you and your staff on a phenomenal month in January.
Absolutely.
The
Congratulations.
team did a knockout job, and as always, I appreciate
Amazing.
them. I appreciate them.
And
Thank you,
we
my
will-
friend.
We will see you guys the first Wednesday of next month, and we'll hopefully have the East on.
That's right. 2 shows.